The break-even points when you are considering, so we need to consider the fixed cost, variable cost. Is there any semi-variable cost which will vary from time to time, and how you are going to calculate the break-even. So the variable cost will vary with respect to the number of units and then the volumes. You have different semi-variable costs which includes the telephone bill, the electricity bill, even they also have the canteen facility in your company for which they are spending the gas and other activities for which your company is going to spend money. When you're taking the cost volume profit analysis, you need to look at how much is the overall total cost that you're going to spend, which includes both fixed cost and then the variable cost. Accordingly, you need to select volumes, how much you are going to sell to get the profit or break even. So the objectives of this cost volume profit analysis is that you can fix the price of the product. This will help the company to look at the volume or the level of activity that they need to plan. The company can also fix the variable cost. They can reduce the unnecessary cost here also. They can also understand what will be the fixed cost, and they can also look for a mixing of product. Like even they can also look for a product differentiation. I have shown one example of a clinic plus shampoo of having 1 rupee worth. Even if the volume of the product is much more higher, and even they can also look for some product variation or product differentiation where they can sell the product of shampoo with different price and different level of prices. And also here you need to do some assumptions while you are going for a cost volume profit analysis. You need to see how much you are going to you are creating the expenditure for a particular project, and you should also look into the production and also the sales, and how much will be the level of inventory. Here the inventory level should always be unchanged. So you should also consider the volume is very important, which is the driving factor for the cost. Normally, we will be calculating the break even considering the variable cost, fixed cost. So as you know, the profit is the difference between the selling cost and then the total cost. So you how much uh, based on how much cost you're going to spend, you can fix the selling price. So the profit will be accordingly. So hence it is necessary for the company to reduce the total cost, total life cycle cost, so that they can reduce the selling price, and even though they can keep the profit same. And you can also define the profit in other term like sales minus total variable cost minus fixed cost. You know, total cost is the summation of variable cost and fixed cost. So when I'm minus of the sales is nothing but I'm going to get a profit. There is a one more term called the margin, contribution margin, which is nothing but the difference between the total revenue and then the total variable cost. So total revenue, how much is the company is going to get, and then from that you are going to minus the total variable cost, you get the margin. So here sales will be in terms of some value, variable cost will be in some value, contribution also will be in terms of some value, fixed cost is also having some value, the profit is also having some value. So here I can also define the profit in other term apart from the sales minus total cost. Profit is defined as the product of or the summation of sales minus variable cost. Sales minus variable cost into Q. Q is nothing but the number of units which are required to sell it to obtain the target profit minus fixed cost. Yes, sir.
Total revenue and the sales both are same, na?
No, total revenue. There is a graph I'll just show to you. Maybe you can see it in even the Google images also. I'll show you the Google image. Hello? So here you can see this is the example of a graph where you're having the break-even points in units in x-axis and break-even points in revenue in y-axis. So here the combination of the fixed cost and the variable costs will give you the overall cost. And apart from the overall cost, you're going to increase the profit. You're going to add the profit, and you're going to sell the product to the customer by adding some selling price to it. So total cost plus the profit or the plus the selling price will give you the overall total revenue. Selling price is different from that of the revenue price because the revenue or the profit what you're going to get is the summation or the difference between the selling price to that of the total cost. You can take this example where you have a fixed cost and then the variable cost, which will give you the overall total cost. So the company is going to add some selling price to that particular cost, which will give them the profit. And the total revenue is nothing but the summation of the total cost plus profit will give them the what is the overall total revenue or the income that they are going to get from the sales.
So that's what I'm saying. The sales and total revenue, it look like both are same for me.
Exactly, you're right. So considering this break-even point, the company can also understand how much volumes they need to sell it to the customer. Accordingly, they can target the quantity which needs to be sold out. Here they consider the example of a bike having the price of 800 rupees, and the variable cost is rupees 300, and fixed cost for the bike production is 55 lakhs. The target profit is 2 lakh, and the estimated sales is 12,000 bike. So here we can also find out how much is the quantity of bikes that are needed for the target profit. So from the quantity, you can find out how many minimum bikes the company needs to sell to the customer in order to get the profit. The company also can analyze the profit volume ratio with the help of the contribution margin. And the company is going to get the break-even point when the sales is 2 lakh rupees, and when they are going to sell it for 400 units. This is the break-even point where there is no profit and no loss to the company. Beyond the particular units, like after 400 units, the company is going to get the profit. This is where the profit lies. If the company is going to sell it to the customer lesser than 400 units, then the company will face the loss.